Tyler.
And I'm Inquisitor Ethan.
Today we have a treat for you.
That's right. One of our friends, Mr. Strike McLean, has sent in a little segment talking about the ins and outs of the gaming world.
It's a very informative segment. We hope you enjoy Metagaming with Strike McLean.
June 9th, Metagaming, Issue 1. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Stripe McLean bringing you Metagaming. This is a little side project I'll be working on talking about the ins and outs, the outsides of the gaming world. Not really talking about games themselves, but a lot of the concepts and obscure ideas that, as gamers, we all live with every day in our day-to-day lives. Today we're going to talk about industry standards. Not the industry standards of compact disc, cartridge, or some other dumb form of format, other than, of course, digital distribution. Instead, we're going to talk about something else. If you're not a space marine hiding behind a giant rock to let yourself regenerate, you have a mana bar, a hit bar. You have some way of gauging how much life you have left. And for me, at least, I like this. I love this fact, and it's a lot more prevalent in RTSs, RPGs than FPSs. And there's a good reason for that. You usually have to worry about more units or more single sprites than yourself. FPSs, you really only have to worry about two things: you and the person you're shooting at. And it really doesn't matter how much health that person has left. You're going to get a headshot and he's going to die. Remember, kids, here's how to play a sniper. It's a lot like a point and click adventure game, except the only option is use gun on face. Since we're talking about health bars, let's go ahead and talk about the two elephants in the room: health and mana. Based on the game that you're playing, you may have some form or another ability points, action points, uh, whatever. Doesn't matter. This is what makes you tick. Other than smashing the attack, attack, attack button, you have these abilities based on whatever game, whatever class, whatever period you're playing, and you have your resource of health and you have your resource of mana, and you have to manage these two things judiciously. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to manage them. However, I'd like to point out red and blue. Health is red, mana blue. I don't want to think about how many games this has shown up and how often this has occurred. Yes, there's also green, and green is kind of like a secondary color. I've seen a lot of games where friendly units are green and enemy units are red in terms of health, but both their manas are blue. Take in consideration Warcraft, where you have things like warriors or rogues that don't actually have true mana, so they get yellow because it's not mana. Here, whatever, fuck off, don't care. You see, blue blue is almost always mana, and red is almost always health, and green is an interesting interchangeable choice to either of these. You can go so far back as to say, okay, Matt, remember Legend of Zelda on the Super Nintendo? Your mana was green. I can't actually think of off the top of my head what your mana was on the Zelda on the NES, and most of those archaic, archaic today RPGs usually dealt with your mana as a number, X of Y, or how much you have left, especially with the Final Fantasy genre. Without any real evidence, I'm going to go a shot in the dark and say probably Ultima might have been the start of this mana blueness. But really, truth be told, this is the way it is. I almost want to come up with a little limerick for you. Mana or red is health, mana is blue, green is mana 2, yellow is fuck off. I don't give a shit. Point is, this is something we live with in our day-to-day gaming lives, and I want to know what you guys think about it. What should we have instead? Should we have something else entirely different? Should we have gradients that go from red to blue, or from red to green, or green to red? What do you want to see in the future? Are you happy with this little system that if they went to something else entirely different, you would have a knee-jerk reaction saying, "What the fuck is this fuchsia? Why is there a purple in my mana bar?" Unless, of course, you sipping on the purple drink anyways. I'm not being racist. I'm just saying. That should wrap it up for about this week's Metagaming with Stripe McLean. This has been a little bit haphazard, and this was a first shot, pretty much off the cuff and unscripted. So next episode should be a little bit more scripted and shit in right under 5 minutes. So peace out, Tonzora Koite, and
Well, thank you, Stripe McLean. That was a very informative segment and a very nice limerick. What do you think?
He's a real poet, isn't he?
He sure is. Well, anyway, we're the Gaming Inquisitors, and
No game suspects the Inquisition.
we'll see you next time.